My Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to TPL Live. It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on tour. Welcome to our Sixers versus Lakers post-game show. The Sixers got the dub. Woo! Let's go, baby. It was an unbelievable bucket by Tobias Harris. They beat the Lakers 107-106. Move to 13-6 on the season. The Lakers get their first road loss of the season. Joining us today is my man, Justin. You know him on Twitter at @J_Persichetti. Justin, let's go!
Listen, y'all, if you were with us for the Sixers watch party, I was giving you that play-by-play of that game, man. Toby coming in clutch. Kevin said it best. Listen, if you want to talk about him not playing up his contract now after that shot, you can't say shit to me. I don't know. I don't care who you are.
Oh,
God damn.
Goodness gracious. Also joining us tonight is my man, Tiago. Please give him a follow on Twitter. But also, this came up today. Let me get this up. Oh, I can't find it. Where is it? Anyway.
Oh, I know exactly what you're bringing up.
Yeah, I'll find it for later. Tiago, what's up, man?
Worth every penny, Chris. That's all I got to say, man. Tobias Harris, worth every single dollar, man.
Can you name that sister?
Yeah. Oh
we were confused. Is it Arsalan Kazemi, or is it Tiago? That was something that came up during halftime. So we were like, I don't know. Is it Tiago? Is it not? I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's talk about our top takeaways of the game. Let's talk about our players of the game, and we're going to grade tonight's performance. Top takeaways. Lead us off, Tiago.
I mean, there's a lot, right? So if we take away the last, 2.5, 3 minutes of the game where the Sixers completely, utterly collapsed as a basketball team, I thought that this was like by far their best game this year. I mean, they were in tune the entire game on both ends of the court. And again, I thought that Tobias Harris, man, like, I don't know what you guys thought about him, but he was so good. I mean, he defended Marc Gasol in the post. He defended Anthony Davis in the post. He defended Marquise Morris. And when you needed Tobias Harris the most, when everything was falling apart, he was the guy who asked for the ball and says, let me do this. So, I mean, my main takeaway was, for a team who believes that can win a championship with Joel Embiid as the MVP, Ben Simmons as, the all-defensive guy, you need that second creator, that second shot maker. And Tobias Harris has been that all year, man. So, get excited about that.
You saw it in that third quarter, I believe, when Joel Embiid fell and either hurt his back or his tailbone, whatever that was. Tobias Harris had that crazy look in his eyes. He had how many times over the last year plus did we say this guy's a leader off the court, but not on the court? This guy sensed that the momentum shift was moving towards the Lakers, and it was him like bucket with him and Shake, and just carrying the Sixers on the court. Unbelievable performance by Tobias Harris. Not even talking about that last bucket, game-winning shot. Unbelievable performance by Tobias Harris. Lock him in for an all-star. Absolutely fantastic. Justin, What was your takeaway?
Dude, it's just and here's the thing. Now that shot is going to cloud everything Ben Simmons did today. Let's talk about real quick how Ben Simmons is now 13th in NBA history in triple doubles.
Sorry.
Let's talk about how Ben Simmons had a triple double tonight: 17 points, 10 assists, 11 rebounds, 8 for 15. Played very good defense. Just one block and one steal. But
it wasn't his best. It wasn't his best defensive game.
still, he was running around contesting shots. Obviously, not the best in numbers standpoint, wasn't the best, but we still held the Lakers to probably a season low of points for them. So I'm gonna give it to him a good game. Overall, though, like this, I saw someone in the comments say that their feelings are jumbled, and that's how I am right now because it's like right at the end of the game there. It was rough for the last like 3 minutes of the game. We could not get anything going on the offense. Seth Curry did not have a good game. Joel Embiid couldn't hit a shot in the fourth quarter. Whether that's because of his back or not sure. But just in all, the fact that we were able to fight the adversity of the foul calls by the refs at the end of the game, fight the adversity of not being able to make shots at the end of the game, come back and get that win when LeBron James is on the other side of the court. That's impressive to me.
How many times have we seen this from this Sixers team? They're put up in some sort of adversity situation. Doc Rivers, whether it's Doc Rivers or the players, there's a different feel. There's a different DNA about this team. There's a grit. There's a toughness. Like the Lakers, went on like a 1-0 run there in the last 3 minutes, and Tobias Harris, like all odds against him, makes that miraculous pull-up jump shot, whatever it was, man. We were just finishing. I'm reacting. I don't really remember the shot anymore. But my goodness, I love Ben Simmons' performance tonight. You touched on it, Justin. Ben Simmons was really incredible. He had a triple-double tonight, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, a steal, a block, 1 turnover for Ben Simmons. 1 turnover for Ben Simmons, who has truly struggled with turnovers this season. I was floored by Ben tonight. Thiago, any other takeaways before we get to player of the game? I'm walking on clouds, man.
So a couple of takeaways, right? So on the Ben Simmons point that you guys brought up, I went back and looked. So if we had 5 minutes between the start of the game and the start of the third quarter, right? So it's about 2.5 minutes between each quarter. The Sixers scored 19 points in 5 minutes. And that was all Ben Simmons pushing the pace early, not letting LA get set, not letting them set their defense. They're the best defense in the NBA, one of the best defense in the NBA. And I thought that the key there was let's get down the court. We'll get to Joel later in the game, but early in the game and early in these halves, let's hit him right in the mouth. And 19 points in 5 minutes, man, like that's big time. So that's what Ben brings you offensively, is that ability to push the pace and get guys open shots early in possessions. So that's number one. And I think number two was the adjustment that Doc made in the second half. I don't know if you guys noticed was Dwight Howard was a train wreck in the first half, right? So It was another terrible second unit performance by the Sixers. And he played Embiid the entire third quarter, right? So it's 12 full minutes. And then he brought in Maxey over Korkmaz. So you had an extra ball handler in there to account for Korkmaz. So
and he
I
also
thought it was a great
Ben
adjustment by
Simmons.
his part because it added an additional dimension the Sixers needed.
No, I was going to say, and he also
Yep.
left Ben Simmons at the center when he brought that extra ball handler in because he noticed Dwight was not able to keep up, and he kept getting the foul calls on him. I do want to bring this comment up real quick before you keep going. Obi-Wan Toby. So I think we have Tobias's new nickname.
That's
but
amazing. That is
anyway,
amazing.
keep going, Thiago. I know you were on a tangent right there. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so I think the Ben Simmons surviving the 5. But
Yep.
You okay?
You're good? Oh, we lost him. I think we lost. Can you hear us?
guys. Yeah, I'm like breaking up. So you guys go ahead and take over for now.
I mean, let's move on to players of the game. It's got to be Tobias Harris. Absolutely,
I can hear you
Tobias.
guys.
You can't hear us? Okay.
I'm good now.
I think he's really behind for some reason.
I'm good now.
All right, let's go on to player of the game.
Go
Tobias
ahead,
Harris. Oh my gosh. Tobias Harris is definitely our player of the game. 24 points, 37 minutes, 7 boards, 3 assists, a steal, the bucket of his Sixers career easily. Justin, what's your player of the game?
My player of the game, I'm gonna stick with Ben Simmons because I know you guys are gonna talk about Tobias. I'm gonna stick with Ben Simmons because man, did he have a phenomenal game, not just with scoring but playmaking. and with rebounding. And I think the only reason he's got those 10 rebounds is because he was playing that 5 today with the backups instead of Dwight Howard. So I don't think that triple-double should surprise anybody just because of that. But I think the key to his game today was his efficiency. His efficiency with the 1 turnover, like you spoke on before, but also his 8 for 15 from the field. That is just the biggest difference for him on this team, and the biggest difference for what he was doing in the last few weeks, honestly, where he was being inefficient, where he was missing a lot of the shots that he normally makes, and where he was turning the ball over a lot more than he normally would. I think that's the biggest difference for him, and what's going to be the difference in him being on this team or not.
All right, Tiago, can you hear us? Takeaways and then player of the game. Oh no, you can't hear us. All right.
No.
All right,
Tiago, we're gonna remove you quick. We're gonna remove you. Come back.
Yeah. All right, leave and come back, Tiago. He'll be back. Final thoughts. You nailed it. Like defense. Lakers came into this game as the best defensive efficiency team in the league. Before COVID hit the Sixers, when the Sixers starters and everything, all that crap hit, the Sixers were 7-0. And they were the number 1 defensive efficiency team. And when you hold the Lakers to 106 points in this game, that's my main takeaway. That's what I wanted to say or see in this game. We talked about it pregame. The Sixers, I think, are the 5th best in defense this season. I think the Sixers made a statement. So many statements across the board. There were actually Joel Embiid MVP statements. There was Ben Simmons haters, all over the place. Sixers Twitter, the national narrative, all over the place. Tobias Harris, though, I think is like my final take of this game. Tobias Harris cemented himself as he returning to the All-Star game and making himself known on the center stage on ESPN tonight, despite the Joel Embiid MVP talk. Despite all the Ben Simmons trade talk and haters that are happening right now. Tiago, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys fine. I made the adjustment like Doc. So I went back and adjusted some internet stuff. And it's the second half. So we're back and we're winning right now. So
he's at T-Scabia, not at Brett Brown. So.
All right, there's no need to hate on Brett here. Come on.
Tiago, any final takeaways and who's your player of the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you guys probably said it. I think Tobias was the man of the game, not just because of the shot, because everything that he brought to the table. But again, I'll give Doc a lot of credit. So I think that making that adjustment in the second half was really critical. And we've seen over time with Brett, he was very rigid with his rotations. So it was always the same guys in, the same guys out, regardless of the score, regardless of the flow of the game. And I thought that, Doc gets the flow, gets the feel of what's going on, right? So you have a bad second quarter. I come out there with Maxey. Maybe Thibault's not having a good game. I switch it around. So he plays around with Ben and Joe's minutes. They're not so rigid. And I thought that, taking away the collapse at the end of the game, he kept the team intact for most of that middle of the part of the game where the Lakers were threatening to make a run. So I give Doc a lot of credit. I felt like he really had a good coaching game. I thought it was really important for him to have that feel for the game and make the adjustments accordingly and not be set to his rotations. So give Doc a lot of credit tonight.
All right. Just crazy game because you look at on the season plus minus in clutch situations, the Sixers, Joel Embiid plus 4.7, Ben 3.8, Seth Curry 6.4, Tobias Harris 5.3, and Danny Green 3.4. I feel like those numbers are going to change drastically tomorrow morning because that huge Lakers run there with 3 minutes remaining. But man, how do you grade this game, Justin?
I mean, ultimately, I got to give it an A just because they were able to pull this game out. But something I think they definitely need to work with is just making sure that they're keeping their shit together in that fourth period or fourth quarter, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, their offense went cold there. Seth Curry was missing shots that he normally doesn't miss. Although I don't think he was in his spots necessarily. I think the Lakers were able to really knock us off our game in that fourth quarter. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do to help that. I know a lot of people are going to say they don't want Seth, like they wish like Seth should have been been taken out. He wasn't having a good game, but realistically, nobody else in our guard position was having a good game that game to give like the hot hand to that spot on the court. So I think you go with the guy who's shooting 60% on catch and shoot threes, even though he missed today.
What about you, Tiago? How would you grade today?
Up until 3 minutes of the game, an A, absolute A. I thought they were phenomenal throughout the game. And I'll say this for that whole conversation around Gasol and Embiid, right? So Gasol was the Embiid stopper. Embiid played Gasol off the court. Why? Because Embiid is a different player than he was 2 years ago. I mean, that dribble face-up game completely changes the conversation around Embiid. And Gasol had no match for Embiid today. He was on the bench when it mattered because he could not stop him. And guess what? Anthony Davis, I mean, you guys saw in the fourth quarter, he was getting eaten alive by Embiid. So the Lakers don't have an answer for Joel. The Sixers have some answers for LeBron. It didn't work today, but we'll see in the future.
And that's something that I actually talked about coming into this game and throughout the watch party was that the Lakers really don't have an answer for Embiid. Anthony Davis historically in his career against Embiid has not done well defensively and has consistently been in foul trouble when playing him. So has Montrezl Harrell, and I think that's more than obvious. And obviously Marc Gasol has given Embiid struggles, but you could tell Embiid was going at him in a different way than he used to.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the past when Embiid was going at Mark, he was trying to play too much finesse game on him, trying to get him with those cheap knick-knack fouls that he gets on some smaller defenders at the center position where he does the arm swing and he gets a call, and he would try to do that in the playoffs and it wouldn't work.
Yep.
You saw today that he was able to use that arm swing and use that move on smaller defenders like Montrezl Harrell, who have to get up in him a little bit more than a big guy like Marc Gasol is, who can stand back and really make him take his weight. You saw Embiid did a good job on getting his body into Marc Gasol to create contact and get the fouls that he needed. So I think and Anthony Davis, too skinny, just can't handle it. I think that's more than obvious. He just can't handle it. It's simple as that. He's got the length. He can block some shots every once in a while, guys, but he just cannot handle that really big interior post guy, and that's just the truth. Embiid, you can see the growth in his game. You can see the growth the growth in his post presence and the growth in how he's handling double teams, and that's more than prevalent with how today's game went for him. So I just can't speak enough about how impressed I am with Joel Embiid this season, and not only this season, but just today against a really good post team like Anthony Davis and Marc Gasol. Really impressive to me.
You guys are crazy. This is an A+ effort tonight. I don't give a shit about the last 3 minutes. Dude, 70 points by the Sixers' big three. The big three on the Sixers carried them to a W against the best team in the NBA, a team that was going through the 11th straight road win. This was a statement game. I don't care if those 3 minutes were brutal. You have Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid again showing you that they can carry you when in the gnarls of a game, when their backs are against the wall and you have to be tough, and they're fighting through all of this. How many times have we seen this year? I'm just so impressed again and again. This is an A to A+ performance by the Sixers. I'm living in the moment. Don't rain on my parade with this B+ garbage. Stop it. All right, let's go to final thoughts, Tiago. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, let's see if they can keep this kind of momentum going. We got a couple of tough games coming up here, but I think they found their formula, right? It's Joel, it's Ben, it's Tobias. Let's see if they keep this going. This has been a good week for the Sixers, though.
Any final thoughts, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see if Joel is going to play on Friday off of what Tiago is saying. But in general, this game, I think the Sixers showed you that they can fight through adversity, and they're going to do it on the defensive end of the ball. You saw, and they've shown you that consistently this year so far, where if they're not making shots, if their offense isn't going well, if they don't have the correct play, or it's just not working, they're going to beat you on the defensive end. And they showed you now that they showed you that now on a team like the Lakers, where they got to go up against guys like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And I think that, to me, is the biggest takeaway from this game, is that this is the first team where we've played them full strength, both teams full strength, and we've been able to come out with the W. And I think that really needs to be understood. It's not the Celtics without Tatum. It's like, this is the full strength Lakers, and we came out no matter how messy it looked in the fourth, and we got it done.
Period.
Yeah, just one more point on that one. Like, the Sixers need to figure it out this second unit. Like, you cannot keep rolling out Dwight in that situation. You got to figure something out there. The Sixers cannot survive no Joel minutes like this. So I trust that Morey's going to figure something out here, but they got to figure something out soon.
And it's not necessarily the defense, because I think defensively we'll be okay with Dwight out there, but it's the offense that's struggling because of the young guards that we have out there. It just isn't working yet, and I'm not sure if that is because of young guards or if that's because of something with the offense. I'm not sure, because it is a very, very different offense with Embiid not on the floor, and it could be as simple a solution as leaving one of our starters out there with him, maybe like Tobias Harris. When that group is out there, it wouldn't surprise me if something like that was done. That's something Brett did a lot of times with the starting and bench units when he was here. So that kind of stuff wouldn't surprise me.
Final thought, little love to Danny Green. I thought Danny Green was really strong tonight, hitting shots when they needed it, especially when Seth is clearly off his game right now. Danny Green finished with 14 points. He was 4 of 9 from 3. He had 6 boards, a steal, 2 blocks. I thought Danny Green was absolutely lights out. We do these watch parties every single game, and how many times have we said, like, Danny Green's either in trade packages or he's like they should bench him and put in someone else. Yeah, Danny Green showed his value as a starter tonight, and I thought he shined tonight. Danny Green, good job.
Respect to Danny Green. I think also, real quick, another thing he did is he did get a late rebound as well. The shot wasn't made that when he passed it out, but late in the fourth, he did get another clutch rebound. Shot wasn't made when he got it back out to everybody, but he did do it again.
Showing that he's a perfect complement to Ben, to Joel, to Tobias. Just I love seeing Danny's game today. All right, plugs. What do you want to plug, Tiago?
Question for you guys. Sixers and Nets, Eastern Conference Finals. Who wins today?
Dude, don't make us talk about that. Don't make us talk about that.
Come on. Take a stab right now. Quarter of the season in.
I'll say right now.
The Nets are struggling, man. I mean, they're not going to be the same team by the end of the season. But.
You saw it before the COVID hit the Sixers. The Sixers were the number 1 defensive efficiency team in the NBA. They were nearly top 10 in efficiency on offense. This is a team that gets open shots. This is a team that fights through defense. Defense wins championships. They got to figure out the bench with Tyrese, with Shake, with Dwight. Dwight was a bowling ball out there tonight. He's I've kind of soured on Dwight over these last few games. But the Sixers, with their chemistry, with their ball movement, with their true identity built on defense, and I truly feel like they're going to add a stretch 4 here, maybe a guard that could defend the pick and roll. I'm going with the Sixers, baby, over the Nets. Absolutely.
I'm going to wait on that one. I'm not sitting here. Listen, as much as I want to sit here and say to everybody, because I'm a big Sixers fan, as much as I want to sit here and say the Sixers would kick the shit out of the Nets, I don't want to sit here and say that they're going to kick shit out of the Nets yet, because the Nets, like Tiago said, are going to have a completely different team by the end of the season, especially in that big man position. So I'm going to wait a little bit. And we're gonna see what happens. But I hope that they beat them. And if they did go to the Eastern Conference Finals against them, I would be so excited to watch that matchup.
Tiago?
I will say this: the Nets are not even the same. The Nets are not even the same zip code defensively as the Sixers, and there's nothing they can do to match the Sixers defensively. So we'll see where the chips will fall, but. They're different teams.
I completely agree. They're completely different offensive teams, completely different defensive teams, and that's what makes it such an interesting matchup, in my opinion. But ultimately, the Sixers tonight beat the best team in the West which means the Sixers are now the best team in the NBA. Let's think hold on. Let's think about this for a second. Realistically now, the best team in the East beat the best team in the West. And that means the East reigns supreme.
I have one last comment before we roll on to plugs. And this is to Nadir. I thought Korkmaz was okay tonight. Korkmaz was okay. He hit shots when it mattered. Korkmaz finished with 8 points, had 2 threes in 11 minutes. Less is more with Korkmaz. I was good with Furkan tonight. And I need to put that on record before Nadir just continues to kill me.
Listen. Furkan and Ben had good nights tonight.
Weird. That doesn't make any sense. Thiago, plugs, man. Let's wrap it up.
Oh, did he really go out again? Thiago, go fix your stuff real quick. Fix your stuff.
Justin, what do you want to plug, man?
Guys, if you are not already, please go follow me on Twitter. I'd really appreciate it. I'm close to 300 Twitter followers. Almost there. So please go follow me on Twitter at @J_Persichetti if you're not already. Please. I know Dibes is going to say it, but please like the video. Please subscribe. We love doing this stuff. We love hanging out with you guys. So please come hang out with us. We're here every game, during the game and after the game. After the game, we're always here with our man Thiago and Dibes and I, and sometimes Jason Blevins. Sadly, Jason is not able to be here tonight, so sorry to hear that. Jason texted me. He said he wishes he could, but he will not be here tonight, just to let y'all know. Thiago, plugs.
I do an article every week. Last week I wrote about Ben Zion. This week I'm going to write about Tobias's defense. It was phenomenal. And, I don't know yet. So we'll look out for that because he was fantastic tonight.
Yep. All right. I got to say, just follow. My plug is Thiago. Please give my man Thiago a follow on Twitter @TScabia. Seriously, one of the best Sixers follows you will ever find on Twitter @TScabia. Please. Also, like our video. We do these all the time, like Justin said. We are the Painted Lines. We are on Twitter @the Painted Lines. We're on our website, thepaintedlines.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We've got a Discord. If you go check us out on Twitter, you'll see the link to our Discord. It's a public chat where you can just chat about whatever. Just thank you, everybody here, for watching. The Sixers got the W tonight. Just an amazing night led by the Sixers Big Three. For Justin, for Thiago, for myself, thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.
See you guys next time. Peace.